Welcome back to Super Thief, your cool geek guide to the world of streaming television. After HBO's parent company Warner Media bought DC Comics, all those juicy DC IPs were whisked over to HBO Max. And with so many amazing superhero movies now to choose from on HBO Max, which ones are really the cream of the crop? Well, join us to find out as we count down the top 10 best superhero movies on HBO Max. Number 10. Zack Snyder's The Justice League. Also known as the Snyder Cut, this one saw its release 4 years after the much maligned original version from 2017. The movie underwent a notorious difficult production, with Zack Snyder initially stepping down as director due to the tragic loss of his daughter, and Joss Whedon stepping in to finish the project. Later on though, fans more and more started to petition Warner Brothers on the internet to let Zack Snyder release his initial vision for the film. Warner Brothers caved in and the Snyder Cut was born. The movie is clearly superior to the initial release. All characters, especially the movie's villain Steppenwolf, getting fleshed out much more deeply, while the action scenes also got a significant upgrade all around. Biggest downside to the movie though, its length. Coming in at a whopping 4 hours, you may consider watching this one in 2 or 3 separate sessions. Number 9. Constantine. This superhero horror film by then debuting director Francis Lawrence follows John Constantine, a cynical exorcist who can see and communicate with half angels and half demons, as well as travel between Earth and Hell. While initial reception by fans and critics was lukewarm, the film is actually a very gripping outing. Keanu Reeves' take on the supernatural detective works really well, while the rest of the star-studded cast all turn in strong performances as well. Trust us, this is one superhero movie that actually deserves way more recognition than it got. So if you're open to some horror sprinkled in with your superpowered action, you'll love this one. Number 8. Batman, The Long Halloween, Part 1 and Part 2. This animated adaptation of one of the Dark Knight's most beloved graphic novels of the same name seemingly came out of nowhere and surprised us with just how good it was. The movie faithfully adapts the iconic source material, but by dividing it into 2 parts, director Chris Palmer is also given enough breathing space to veer into new directions at times. All in all, if you're up for a good animated detective noir superhero movie, you really should check this one out. Number 7. Wonder Woman. After the DCEU had gotten off to a rocky start with the especially disappointing Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice and the train wreck that was the first Suicide Squad movie, Warner Brothers had quite a lot riding on the success of this one. Fortunately though, this one really did deliver, and Gal Gadot especially is perfectly cast as the titular superhero. All in all, this one was a surprise delight, and if you're looking for a strong solo female superhero outing especially, you can't go wrong with Wonder Woman. Number 6. Batman Begins. This first outing in Christopher Nolan's widely acclaimed Dark Knight trilogy gives us a very compelling Batman origin story. We see how Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne seeks out the League of Shadows to learn to fight in ways that will help him liberate his Gotham City from the iron grip of organized crime. Seeing Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne take his first steps as Batman is awesome, while we're also treated to intriguing takes on classic villains Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow. All the while, Nolan is expertly setting up even more grand things to come. If you haven't seen any of the Nolan Batman movies yet, or just looking for a strong superhero origin movie, this is a great place to start. Number 5. The Suicide Squad. After the disastrous first Suicide Squad movie in 2015, the franchise got a much needed restart with this 2021 release by Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn. We follow Batman supervillains Harley Quinn, Bloodsport and Peacemaker, as well as a collection of some very weird superpowered convicts as they are recruited at Belleville Prison to join the super shady Task Force X. And I've got to mention the insane battle against the kaiju starfish, because that was epic stuff. If you're looking for a superhero movie with some very witty banter, this one is definitely the one to go for. Number 4. Spider-Man 2. Long before Tom Holland puts on the iconic web-slinger costume, Tobey Maguire actually jump-started the whole superhero movie craze back in 2002 with his first Spider-Man film. In what would later become a trilogy directed by Sam Raimi, the director's sophomore outing here is definitely the pick of the three. If you're open to watching someone else and Tom Holland web-slinging around New York City, you are going to love this one. Number 3. The Batman. After Christian Bale's stellar turn as the Caped Crusader, Ben Affleck left viewers and audiences with mixed feelings when he took up the cow in the Justice League related movies. Warner Brothers next decided to completely reboot the franchise with Robert Pattinson playing a younger, novice Dark Knight in this recent outing. And to amazing effect. The movie takes an awesome detective noir approach, with Batman forced to hone his detective skills as he, together with a ferocious Catwoman, superbly played by Zoe Kravitz, are forced to hunt down the serial killer known as the Riddler. Although the movie's climax may feel a bit out of tone and pace with the rest of the movie, it is still undeniably a gripping watch start to finish. So if you're up for a superhero detective movie, this one is a definite must watch. Number 2. The Matrix. Okay, some may argue this one doesn't categorize as a traditional superhero movie, but if you look at the stuff lead character Neo pulls off by the end, he seems to fit the bill for a superhero just fine. After Neo, played by the perfectly cast Keanu Reeves, finds out what the Matrix is, he's sucked into a war for the future of mankind against vicious AI-powered secret agents. The movie not only boasts some truly groundbreaking special effects for the time, but also an extremely imaginative plot and a stellar cast to boot. If you haven't seen this classic yet, you just have to give it a try. It's just that good. Number 1. The Dark Knight. The second movie in Christopher Nolan's epic Batman trilogy turned out to be a superhero movie for the ages. With bigger stakes and even better performances, this dark and gritty outing will have you gripped to the TV immediately from its iconic opening bank heist scene until the credits roll. Together with District Attorney Harvey Dent and Commissioner Gordon, Christian Bale's Batman is initially able to put a tight lid on crime in Gotham City, but then the Joker suddenly throws the entire city in complete chaos and pushes Batman as well as Bruce Wayne to their absolute physical and emotional brink. Bale is again excellent here as the Caped Crusader, and Aaron Eckhart is also an outstanding pick for Harvey Dent. But the movie is undeniably pushed to legendary status by the late Heath Ledger's unforgettably iconic and chilling performance as the clown prince of crime, the Joker. If you haven't seen this one yet, you owe it to yourself to see this quite possibly best superhero movie ever made. And that's it for our list. Did you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated on all upcoming Super Thief content.